Hello and welcome to this conference insight live at CARTES SECURE CONNEXIONS. I have the pleasure to welcome John Devlin. Hello, John.
Hello, Mark.
You're the principal analyst at Paid Strategies. And also Phil Seeley, you're senior analyst in digital security at ABI Research.
Yes, hi.
Welcome to you too. And we're here to discuss mobile payments and the mobile payments panel we have with us today. So let's start with a general question regarding the many different heavyweights who tried to launch new services last year and this year. They didn't quite make a big difference. Rather, they tried to ride the rails rather than change the wheel. So my question is very easy. Can Apple, Samsung and Google, three heavyweights, succeed where others have not been able to launch a widespread service?
Yeah, well, I think that they can certainly make a difference if the strength of their brands increases awareness. It does drive attention and discussion. It moves the market forwards from a competitive standpoint. So you see them forming partnerships with retailers, promoting this at point of sale across a variety of stores. So I think, yeah, they certainly can make a difference.
Right.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think they haven't reinvented the wheel. They've just gone with simple payments to start with. Of course, their strategies will evolve and they'll look at other aspects, including maybe retail and loyalty. I mean, Apple's just announced to support P2P. But to start with, they've kept it simple, kept it nice, kept it clean, and so far so good.
Okay. Also, originally in mobile payments, there was a big focus on banks and also mobile operators. Do you see those operators and these companies, do you see they still have a role to play in the future of payment?
Yes, no, I think there's still a role for companies. It's probably changed slightly on behalf of the operators and how they were pitching mobile payments, how they were trying to provide it. We've seen new technologies come in, which has helped open up the market and given some more flexibility for the banks in how they approach mobile payments, looking to add HCE and tokenization, two of the buzzwords at this year's show, and a lot of discussion going on about how companies can go to market with this.
Right.
Phil, yeah, no, absolutely, completely agree. And I think you could arguably say that the likes of Apple and Samsung have somewhat bypassed the MNOs and gone direct to market with the solution. I think their solutions will have to change and evolve. But in saying this, you look at Samsung and Apple and where they're currently active, it is limited. So there is still greenfield opportunity out there, which could be targeted. Additionally, payments is just not about making a payment. There's other aspects as well. Outside of sort of an open loop credit or debit card payment, you could look at other retail, loyalty applications, gift cards, and other closed loop applications where they could potentially have a play.
I think also, particularly in emerging markets where we are seeing much greater adoption of smartphones, but not necessarily at the higher value, higher end of the market where a lot of development's taken place so far in more mature markets. So banking penetration tends to be lower in those countries, and I think we will see, or what you're already seeing, mobile operators being able to provide a service and access to mobile money, to digital money, to inclusion that's able to benefit the citizens and the consumers in those countries.
So you're talking about a mature market. So how do you know that a market is ready to adopt mobile payment? What are the indicators?
Well, it can vary, I think, in depending on which country and the type of service that's looking to be launched. So in an emerging market, I think it's obviously where we've seen the greatest success to date has been where there's been relatively low financial inclusion from a banking perspective, but much higher mobile penetration. And as we're seeing more smartphones coming in, those services are getting more sophisticated.
And what are the challenges ahead of those companies and to adopt mobile payments?
I guess trust is certainly one big factor. in mature markets as well, it's looking at how whether consumers really trust a mobile operator over a bank when it comes to making a financial transaction, or are they more interested in an all-in-one approach from an Apple or a Samsung or a Google, where they're able to cross over into either other devices or online payments and in-app payments as well.
Yeah, and I think another challenge would be on the partnership side. We know that ownership has been a particular issue throughout the mobile payments life to date. That somewhat hasn't changed. You still need to get the correct partnerships. You still largely need a third party to help you manage that as well. And getting those partnerships and reaching an agreement can also be a bit of a hindrance.
Right. And talking about HC and tokenization, who have been added to the mix for security on those mobile payments, do you think, what are the new approaches to security regarding mobile payments?
Well, adding tokenization, biometrics, we're seeing increasingly featuring in more and more smartphones. I think that in terms of convenience and building on the trust that I mentioned, I think people feel safer if they know that someone else is unable to either unlock their phone or to make a payment with it. Much the same as if you were to use a PIN number for a standard EMV bank card. So it provides that feature for them. And in terms of HC and tokenization, I think it's helped to open up the market. It's given another route for either banks or other companies that wish to try and compete and enter to be able to go to market without necessarily having to go through either a specific mobile operator or a handset manufacturer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I think multiple factors of authentication is key here. It's not just about one type of security. You can layer up security, and this will naturally evolve as time progresses as well. We'll see higher levels of security, new solutions being used in tandem with others. So it's only but going to improve, I believe.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us today and talking about mobile payments. And I will see you next for another Conference Insight.